But Austin Collie was this, he came out of nowhere, came out of absolute nowhere whenever he was dominant his rookie year. Nobody expected it. We had Reggie, we had other guys. I mean, there was a lot of people that had no idea. And this was back whenever our offense was a juggernaut too. Dallas Clark was there. So I think Austin kind of, I don't want to say benefited from all that, but he was a hardworking guy. As soon as he got there, I mean, him and Peyton, Peyton was a big fan. So he was targeting him early. He was getting a lot. This is obviously before his 3 death shots that he got where the concussions, it literally, I thought that he was potentially dead. I mean, very scary situations with Austin Collie, but before that, he was dominant on the football field. And he was still a rookie, and he was young. And he ran a little out route, I believe, and Peyton threw it to him. And it was a little bit out of his reach, but Austin reached with one hand to catch it, and it hit off his hand, and it just dropped, right? And Austin had been having an incredible season thus far. And he just, like, put his head down, and he jogged back to, it was probably first or second down. He jogged back to the huddle. And before he got, like, probably 5 feet away from the huddle, Peyton Manning just pointed at the sideline. Okay? Just pointed at the sideline. And he said, "Get out." And Austin jogs to the sideline, and Jim Caldwell and the offense coordinator are like, "You're in." He's like, "No, I am not." And he's like, "No, you're in." So Austin turns around like to go back on the field, and Peyton just points at the sideline as if he's like a dad, okay? So he's benched at this point. They have to bring in another wide receiver, somebody who was a special teamer, I'd assume, had nothing to deal. We end up scoring a touchdown. Because at that point, that was the year we were completely undefeated until we chose to lose. I mean, it was that was back when everything was humming. I mean, it was awesome to watch and ride the coattails after those moments. And I go up to Austin because he and I were friends at the time. He's a California kid. And he said, "Brah," a lot like he was Dog the Bounty Hunter. And I go up to him. I'm like, "Brah, what happened?" He's like, "I have no idea. I just got kicked off the field. I honestly have no idea." I was like, "By who?" He was like, "Peyton literally pointed me off of the field." And I was like, "Are you all right, bro?" He was like, "Brah, I have no idea." So then Peyton comes off the field. We kick the extra point. We kick off. And I guess while I was doing that, while I was holding for the extra point and kicking off, something had happened on the sideline. So I come back over and I'm like looking, and you see Austin like sitting like dejected all by himself. And I go over and I was like, "What's going on, bro? You know, like we did a big time win here." He was like, "I was told that if I ever try to catch the ball with one hand again, I will never be on the football field again when Peyton Manning's the quarterback." And I just started like crying, laughing. And Austin's having this terrible moment. He feels as if he let down his dad basically with that whole thing. And I'm just crying, thinking to myself, like, what a savage of an individual Peyton Manning is. He basically told this young rookie wide receiver who had a lot of promise, like, "Hey, I don't need that garbage with you with one hand. Yeah, I might have missed you a little bit. You dived then and you put 2 hands on that ball. I don't need you thinking this is a highlight real time. I don't need you thinking that you can snag balls one hand. Yeah, you have great hands. You're a great catcher." Austin Collie and I actually in warm-ups every single game, I threw to him. He worked on like 10 right-handed one-handed catches, 10 left-handed one-handed catches, 10 two-handed catches, 10 catches where he turned around. I was literally his passer in warm-up. So he has incredible hands. But Peyton was just like, "That ain't happening. If you want the ball to continue to come your way, that garbage will not happen." And that's an interesting moment because does Aaron Rodgers tell Jimmy Graham afterwards, like, "Hey, I know you're very wealthy. I know you've won a has he won a Super Bowl, Jimmy Graham? I don't know.
No.
I know you've had a lot of success. But if you ever try to one-handed catch a ball that you can definitely get 2 hands on, and it's an incompletion, I will not let you in my huddle ever again." That's an interesting moment that I don't think Aaron can have with Jimmy Graham at the year he is, but watching Peyton do that was a moment where I was like, yo, accountability is a real thing. And if you watch what Austin Collie did after that, he went up and got it with 2 hands every single time, and he went on to lead the NFL and everything until the boom, concussion shots. But that was a cool moment where I was like, man, I didn't know. That was when I learned, by the way, that, oh, this is Peyton's team. Because Jim Caldwell was like, "No, you're in." And he was like, "No, I'm not." He was like, "No, you're in." He was like, "All right, you tell me." I turned around and Peyton's just sitting there like, "Get the hell off the field." It was awesome. It was a very cool moment.